Good morning and welcome back to Chraetor Creative, where creative minds come together. I'm your host Robert, and I'm glad to have you here with us. As you can see, we're back at playing Elden Ring Live. However, I am going to be looking for the Deathbirds because I am planning to change my build just a little bit. So we're going to be hunting the Deathbirds. Let's go ahead and check, make sure we've got the other stuff we need. So we're looking for the Royal Remains. Yeah, so we've got the Royal Remains stuff. So to start with, it looks like we've already killed the Deathbird for Limgrave on this account. So we've got a Deathbird here in Altus that we're looking for. One here in Limgrave, or sorry, we killed the one in Liurna. We need the one in Limgrave and Altus and the one in Caelid. I'm not overly interested about the one that's down in the Weeping Peninsula. I'm not sure what that one drops, to be honest, but it's not relevant to the build. Which, for those of you who don't know, the build I'm talking about is the zombie build presented by Rage Gaming Videos. If you haven't seen it, you should check them. You should check it out. It's an awesome sounding build. I'm really looking forward to trying it. I am going to slightly alter it from what they presented, just because I have my own ideas of what might be cool to go with it and stuff. But that's definitely the basis of it. Let's see, we need to make sure that it's night. Alright, so what we're going to do for this is, like, right here, I believe it spawns, so we're actually going to go down just a little bit further. It's right on this thing. Yeah, see, there we go. Oh. It's a good thing that we're way higher level than this Deathbird is designed to deal with. That actually ended really quickly. Stupid goats. And there we have our blue feathered branch sword. Now, just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here, find the talismans. So the red feathered branch sword, a talisman adorned with red feathers, once used in ancient death rituals, raises attack powers when HP is low. This one, a talisman adorned with blue feathers, once used in ancient death rituals, raises defense when HP is low. So, from what I've heard, this increases my attack by 5%, but this increases my defense by 50%. Neither one of those kicks in until my HP drops pretty significantly. I believe, if I remember correctly, it kicks in at 20%. The Death Remains stuff also kicks in at low health. That stuff begins to heal me for 2 hit points per second for each piece of armor. And it does so once you drop below 18%, and it stops when you hit 18%. And so it's designed to keep you at 18, which will work really well with the build because our talismans and our weapons and our shield and stuff is all going to kick in at 20%. But we're going to be strong enough we don't have to be down there. That's just our safeguard. That'll just be my safeguard for if I'm brought down that low, I get all these bonuses to help me overcome the odds. Totally did not mean to do that, but it's all good. So what we're going for is right about there. We'll just cut right through Aeonia. Not even going to worry about whatever that scarab is. It's probably just a smithing stone or something anyway. There it is. I was going to say, I know somewhere around here is a grace. And there's our Deathbird target. Do you see it, guys? It's beautiful, ain't it? Now this is like the toughest Deathbird. Makes sense that it's in Caelid because everything in Caelid is tough. Everything in Caelid sucks butthole. And there we go, that's gonna be a nice juicy crit. Got stuck drinking the potion. Oh. Timed my dodge horribly right there. That was a shame. This Deathbird is obviously much harder than the other one. Takes a lot more FP, but I'm thinking maybe I should start off with Renala's Full Moon. Or actually Ronnie's Full Moon. It deals a little less damage, but will decrease its magic damage negation. I think it's really too bad that these things only pop up at night, so you have to rest every time. See, so there we have it. Its wings are really pretty. Like, the rest of it is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. We'll see if I can even hit it. God, I hate when that happens. It opened up the pouch rather than let me switch. And that's my own fault because of the way that I bound my keys. Real quick, I'm gonna switch my... No, I don't want to switch my bindings back because now I'm used to it. There's a really big downside to having triangle be your crouch and item interaction, because when you're writing torrent, or having it be L3 be your crouch, because when you're writing torrent and you're running, there's a good chance you'll press down on it too hard and suddenly jump off of torrent, and then you're murdered. Obviously, there's a downside to having it be your item interaction because it opens up your pouch when you accidentally press down on it too hard. And then when you're trying to get to your heal potions and you don't, you're left with no health. And that weapon he's using is actually what we're after against this guy. And you see how strong it is. He's ignoring me now. Apparently I got too far. Okay, he's definitely gonna send a slash at me. I don't know why I can't stun him right now. Like, I've hit him more than enough times. There we go. Yeah, he's definitely much, much tougher than the other Deathbird. He might be as hard as the one on the mountaintop of the giants. Might even be just a little bit harder, to be honest. So now that we've got that, let's see, I don't think we have enough. Yeah, nowhere near enough to level up. We'll check our flasks real quick. Can't do much with those, so now we come all the way up here, and our Deathbird Let's see. Altus. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong area. So our Deathbird is going to be like right up in here. So of course our closest thing is going to be the Hermit Merchant's shack. Not too bad. 16 minutes in and we've gotten 2 of our 3 Deathbirds. Not too bad at all. So, it looks pretty dark, but I want to be sure that we don't run out of time, so we're going to pass time until nightfall. That way we're starting at the beginning of night. It says it's night. It's already much brighter, so we were like in late night. Now, this Deathbird's also a little more difficult to fight. Mostly because it's surrounded by death snails. I mean, the movement is pretty predictable. Like, I know exactly what's coming. So that part's not too bad. Like I said, the bad part is when the snails start to get involved and I have to focus on them. Alright, that wasn't too bad, but that's because we mostly stayed away from where the snails are. Okay, so now, before something comes up and surprises us and kills us, steals all our precious runes. And so that we can get it back to daytime where there's nowhere near as much glare on my TV. Oh, so it actually, the note gives you a warning that this is where the Deathbird's gonna be. Okay, so now that we've done that, I want to go actually into equipment. And I might want to check Lanedale too to see if it's covered in ash yet. But anyways, so there is clear drops. I mean, you can see everything goes down for my resistances here. It's like, this is definitely a pure downgrade from my helmet. But you can see there's a couple of upgrades there. Mostly a downgrade for my armor as well. However, that healing is really nice. It's not my favorite looking armor, but it's not bad looking either. And then for our equipment, so there's actually two different weapons. This is one of the changes that I'm thinking of making. So there's the Death Ritual Spear here. You can see 18 intelligence, 14 strength, 20 dex. And when we look at the description, I mean, clearly it's weaker. I mean, look at that comparison. 168 plus 53 to 99 plus 21. 200 plus 187 to 64 plus 17. Like, clearly it's not as good. But also, keep in mind, our thing is upgraded ridiculously high. But when you look at this, ritual spear used by priests of old who were permitted to come among the Deathbirds. The priests became guardians of the birds through the rite of death, which also serves as an oath sworn to their distant resurrection. Thrust the spear high, bearing prayers into the sky to summon a downpour of spectral spears. So real quick, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So first off, there's the attacks. Crouching. Running. Okay, right? But yeah, that attack there. And you see it doesn't actually use very much FP. So I mean, when you look at my stats, my mind is decently high at 30, but I can get off a bunch of those. So, the other thing that we want to look at, switch that out for the Death Poker, which is a great sword. It's going to be somewhere up here. It's right here. Causes frost buildup. You can see 123 plus 28, and then we've got a 36 plus 6. And when we look at it, barbed rod carried by Deathbirds. The birds are graveyard firekeepers. It is said they rake out the ashen remains of the dead from their kilns. Unique skill, Ghost Flame Ignition. Thrust out the barbed rod and set its tip alight with Ghost Flame. Follow up with a normal attack to set the ground ablaze with Ghost Flame, or strong attack to trigger a massive explosion. So when we look at that, there's our light attacks. There's our heavy attacks. There's our crouch. Our run. It's like it's not bad at all. Like, that's a solid move set. It's a little slow, but timing could be figured out pretty well. And then for our stuff, there's that. So there's that move that was getting me. Obviously not as strong when I use it. Oops. So, one last time. There's the explosion. Like, completely solid. And then, for our shield, we are looking for this one. So, physical damage is not important, but physical negation 100, 49 magic, 50 fire, 28 lightning, 35 holy. Like, those aren't great, but there's no skill, so we can still use our weapon. And shield featuring a vividly painted twin bird. The twin bird is said to be the envoy of an outer god and mother of the Deathbirds. At dwindling levels of HP, the shield slightly boosts both attack and defense. So when we're set up like this, and then we go to our equipment, we've got the Stargazer heirloom that raises intelligence. That's really good in certain regards, but it's not something that we're going to need. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. So, obviously with what we're using, intelligence is good for the ghost flame attack, and it might have some level of importance for the spear attack. Oh, come here, Odin. Let me grab the puppy real quick. That's a good puppy. But there's going to be definitely better choices. So we definitely want these. We're not as concerned about that. But let's increase that. Raises attributes, but also increases damage taken. That is really good. I mean, you can see we're going to take a loss if we get rid of that. So we're probably going to keep that one. We can lose our memory slots, though, in exchange for the Red Branch Sword. We did just lose some of our spells, but we can get those back pretty quickly. So with what we've got now, I mean 66 intelligence, good vigor, okay endurance, okay strength. This weapon scales off of strength and dex and intelligence, causes frost buildup. I don't think we can wield both, but if we can wield both that and the spear... Yeah, sadly we can't wield both. At least not, and still be able to dodge roll. But now we're pretty much set up, so let's go ahead and test this out real quick. I think a pretty good place to test it, just to get an idea of the kind of damage output we're going to look at. I'm going to go right here to the Third Church of Marika, because I know there's a troll right by that church. And we're just going to fight the troll real quick. And I'm not going to lie, I was thinking that I'd have to respec the entire character, which I still might end up having to do. But for right now, I don't think that's necessary. Hello, friend. Okay, and keep in mind, this is with a completely unupgraded weapon that we're doing this. And there we go. So that's unupgraded. You see, that didn't put up much of a fight at all. So, let's go to our round table hold. And once we're here at the round table hold, we're going to upgrade our sword as far as we can. I might have to start hunting down some somber stones. See, this place is kind of eerie now. So let's talk to him. Let's strengthen our armament. This just requires regular smithing stones. So that's cool. I don't know. I'll have to look up if increasing that actually does any good. So I need a Somberstone 5. So I can get it to +4. Something else I want to do while I'm here anyways is talk to Roderica for some spirit tuning, and I need Ghost Glowwort 3s. So there is a Maiden Husk here. We're going to give her a little chat. Let's see, I'm thinking that and that are going to be important. And that. In all reality, all of them. That way they're just out of the way. So, yeah, we've got... I can get all the smithing stones. Let's get 2 of those. 2 of these. I may have to go farm for just a little bit of gold. Well, runes. So let's talk to him again. Strength and armament, of course. And yeah, we're already out of runes, but I've got 6s. Let's check my inventory real quick. So there's 6, there's 7. So yeah, I do need the 8s. Can't get it up to +9 with what's going to be available here, but that's not a big deal. So the fastest way we're going to be able to do this is we're going to come here. And for equipment, I need to put on a bow. Serpent's bow it is. And here he comes. Good boy. So we're just going to do this a few times. I want to make sure I do it enough that we don't have to come back because I ran out of money. You know what I mean, honey? Because it seems like I went through that money pretty quick. When I bought all the smithing stones to begin with. I'm actually getting kind of good at shooting this dude. I say right as I mess it up. There we go. Alright, I'm thinking that's probably good. I don't know, maybe not. It seems like things get extremely expensive as you continue. Good boy, Odin. Got my puppy here cheering me on. He's an excellent little mascot. So let's see. We had it up to 7s, I think, so I need to buy 2 of these. Let's see, I also have to figure out the ghost glove where it's... Let's see, looks like that's as many as she's got for me. I have to go find the other bell bearings to get the rest. But that should definitely help. Also, while we're here, this can be removed. Let's focus on getting the weapon upgraded first, because that's a little more important. No 9, sadly. But I've got it to +8. So we can see at +8 it's pretty good. Strength C, Dex C, Intelligence D. But still, that's not bad. If we go into here and we compare that to our Moon Veil, our physical damage has jumped up by almost 100. We've lost a little bit of magic damage. But considering there's a full level of difference there, and we've got better frost build-up, like, it's not a bad trade. Moonveil's probably still slightly better in all reality, but still. Let's see. I also want to strengthen the ritual spear. And of course we can't get it to +9, but now when we look at our equipment, I want to compare that ritual spear. So we can see its Dex and Intelligence are slightly better, Strength is slightly worse. Physical damage is a bit less, magic damage is a bit more, and the critical is more. So in all reality, that's not a bad pick either. I can like switch between the two, because I'm losing 52 on one and I'm gaining a little bit magic damage. So actually, I don't know, then you've got the pluses. Pretty close. The spear might deal slightly more damage, but it doesn't get the frost buildup. So I think that the spear is probably the slightly worse option. However, it's definitely still a viable option and wouldn't be a bad choice. She's gone too. But now that we've got that, talk to her. Oh, I do need the 3 still also. Oops. So come back here. Get me a 3. I want to increase the mimic. Purchase. We're looking for Ghost Clovert 3. That would be it. She's got all kinds of stuff for us now. Yeah, all kinds of stuff for us. So if we do have to go farm a little bit more, it'll be a pretty small amount.
I see.
So real quick, let's look at my inventory again to look at the ghost gloveworts that we have. So I've got up to 6, and then I'm missing 7, 8, and 9. So real quick, we're going to come here again, shoot 2 or 3 of the birds, so that I've got enough to get it up to +6. I'm thinking just 2 will be enough. And then we'll be ready to try the Godskin duo now that we've killed all the Deathbirds we needed stuff from. And we've got this alternate build option set up. It definitely could be optimized more, but if I don't change the stats, I'm still set up to go back to my original build if I don't like the way this plays out. And welcome, by the way. Glad to have you with us. There we go. I wasn't quite sure what was happening. But alright, with him shot, we can go back to the round table, finish up our improvements. I don't think I'm going to spend time hunting down the 7, 8, and 9 for the ghost gloveworts. Good morning. Alright, sadly I can't upgrade that any further than that. But that's alright, that's already a pretty nice improvement from what it was at. So we'll come back and put back on our Death's Poker. And then just to see how this works out, we're gonna go test it out on that troll again. Oh, good boy, Odin. Wish me luck. Puppy works just like a lucky rabbit's foot. But I'm thinking that this build might be a little better for that fight that I was struggling with. It's designed pretty well to keep me from getting killed. So yeah, one single hit of that now kills him, as opposed to repeatedly earlier. That almost wasn't even worth testing against him on. They killed him so fast. Let's see. We're looking for... Here, Farron Azula. So I know you weren't on earlier, so you didn't hear me say, sadly I won't be able to stay on much longer for this stream. I've got to take my girlfriend's son to work. So I'm going to stay on for about another 30 minutes or so, but I have to try to get off on time because he's got an early shift today. Well, I can definitely see the increased damage I get from being at low health. I can also hear that I'm being followed. That was a nice little jump of explosive damage right there. Alright, I guess we'll see how this goes. Ooh, I don't like seeing that my buffs have kicked in already because that means that I hit that low health mark. So we'll see. I don't know if that actually did any better. In theory, this build should give me the edge, because once I drop low I get a massive buff to my attack damage and my defensive damage, but I guess that only matters if I can manage to get far enough away or deal the finishing blow while I have those buffs active. So let's summon the Mimic Tier real quick. Heal up from that. So it is a really nice massive amount of damage that deals. But I don't think it's enough of a buff. I also need to get in the habit of, right now I have a shield on, so it's okay for me to try to maybe block some of the damage as opposed to only dodge it. But that'll take a little bit of getting used to. I've gotten so in the habit of dodge. Oh, he can one-shot me with that combo. That's not good. If it didn't make me a fat roll, I would like to take off. I have a talisman on that increases how much damage I take, but improves my stats. If I take it off, unfortunately, it slows down my movements because I'm above my carrying capacity at that point. And fat rolling is when you roll super slow, so I just can't afford to have that going on in a fight. So yeah, I can definitely deal a good amount of damage here. I don't know if it's enough to matter. Yeah, see, even with the buff to my defense, it just isn't quite doing it. Let's see, I might try the spear. The damage should be pretty close to the same. The downside is no frost buildup, but so far, I don't think I've seen the frost damage hit these guys. So let's try that. There it is. So we'll see, this is a super different moveset than I'm used to using though, so I have no idea if I'll be able to use it effectively or not. Nope, I've got him following me. I should have snuck past. Considering this build is designed to stay alive, it's not quite as strong as I would have hoped, although I am missing 2 of the talismans that were meant to go onto the build. So that could be a part of it. Nope, I came out too soon. I'm just gonna have to run. Alright, let's see. Oh, I'm out of FP. Okay, blocking that did not work. Oh, it does seem to stun them though. So, the spear might be the way to go. Sadly, it seemed like my Mimic didn't last very long. I might go back to using Tish. I'm guessing +6 just isn't quite enough to be effective in this fight. So yeah, I'll go back to trying with my Black Knife Tish. That's going to take away some of my magic to begin with, but that's alright. Oh. That went horribly that time. Yeah, that went really bad that time. I don't know why I only managed to take 2 hits on that go. Because the spear and the sword make no difference on my HP amount or my damage taken. That's all the armor and the talismans. Let's get it back onto Tish. I think she grabs the aggro less than the Mimic does. I don't know why I couldn't move. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the Mimic. I think he grabbed the aggro of both of them to begin with. Black Knife Tish, I think she's probably the better Ashe overall, but when I really need somebody to keep the aggro, I think it's gonna be the Mimic. If I knew where to get the Great Shield summons, that would probably be even better for this. Just because my understanding is that they collect aggro like no other and stay alive phenomenally well. Yeah, see, he's got their aggro and he's keeping it. He's about to donut roll. If I can hit him, he goes down. Oh, so close. I would have had a temporary reprieve to heal up. So close. Granted, they would both just spawn back, but still. A temporary reprieve to get back to full health and try the second round. So I do think the spear is the way to go, at least for this fight. I think it's good I upgraded both so I can jump back and forth between them. I also think if I got my Mimic tier up to +10 like I did with Tish, that this would probably be a much easier fight. So I guess if I can't beat them before I have to get off, I'll spend some free time hunting down Ghost Gloveworts. Oh. I was really hoping to be able to capitalize on that and get my crit. Dang. Oh, he already killed the Mimic. I don't know what happened to cause the Mimic to die that fast. Let's see, I might actually try something else for the Mimic. Let's see, I'm using spears. So the other option is the spiked spear, which causes blood loss buildup. Or I've got... See, these have requirements that I can't meet, but not all of them do. What is your skill? Prestige embodied and transform blade into a magical greatsword and swing it down. So it's a shame that I can't use some of these also. But what if I put on this and this? Because then... Wait. Are they not? It's not swinging both. Straight sword, great sword. That's why. Oh, I can't choose any other greatsword? Okay, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so... Get rid of the poker. I guess we're gonna use the 2 spears. Well, I'm not, but the mimic is. Because with this, now they can both be attacked with. I wanted to see the description. Okay, but the Spear Call ritual gets priority, so he'll have a little less defensive capability, and his boost when he gets to super low health will be a little less. However, that sucked. But however, he'll be dealing a bit more damage. And if he's gonna be dominated anyway, I'll summon him with that, then quickly go into my own inventory and switch back to the shield so I have the small buff and slightly better defensive capability. I'm not a huge fan of the dual spear build, but it doesn't really matter since it'll be the Mimic using it and not me. There we go. Is he gonna donut roll at me? Get me out of the hole, please. I'm much more interested in hitting that one, because he's almost dead. Sadly, so is my Mimic. Can't afford to keep trading him like that. That sucks. I don't know if having 2 spears actually made any kind of difference for him. I guess I'll just summon him with a shield again, because it's not like he did any decent amount of damage against that other one. And I really don't know which one is more dangerous and worth focusing on more. The skinny one seems more apt to dodge my attacks. While they're right by each other, I can get them both with the same thing. That's nice. You and your stupid donut roll that can't be dodged. I thought I was doing better that time, but according to their health, no. I feel like if I can focus on the same one that my Mimic is fighting, I would be better off, because 2 of us hitting him at once, he'll go down quicker, but I can't. Anytime I try to focus on that, the other one just starts hitting me super aggressively. I also think it's too bad I can't wield more than just a Death Poker's Greatsword, because dual Greatswords is decently powerful, and I'd like to to put that on the Mimic, because he'd hit extremely hard. The dual spears I don't think hit all that hard. Oh, that noise was an alarm saying that it's time to go, so this will be my last attempt. Doesn't matter how good or bad I do. Well, I had them both right there by the door, and I could hit them both with that. That was working pretty nicely, I feel. But okay. Thank you for tuning in. Anybody that watches this on the replay, thank you for checking it out. I appreciate it. Feel free to hit like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. We'll see if we can't beat these guys then. Anyways, have a good one.